The final episode. What the hell are we going to do? Euphoria is over. I do not feel euphoric.
And guess the season's not coming out till next year at... Oh no, I think it's 2021 in fact.
You're joking, I'll be 50.
I'll
be too old to watch that shit. Yeah, man. That was my leg twisting round.
I'll be 18.
Oh my God. You can't wait that long. This is the problem, isn't it? We're getting older.
I hope it's next year.
One day, I know I'm going to be an age where when the next season of something comes out, I'll be dead.
Dad?
What a horrible thought. I will never stop being a popcorn junkie Boxset binger.
Apparently the thing that happened in the Milky Way the other day is headed for Earth.
Shitting hell.
It's in all the news, so we might all die soon.
A lot of chocolate coming our way? Did you get it? Anyway, episode 8. So this one broke with the rules a little bit because it's the final episode. That makes sense. So it's as we cut to Zendaya right at the beginning in the pre-title sequence with her kidney infection.
Being in hospital.
Yeah, so she's kind of finally broken down, gone to hospital. She's taking drugs like Roxaset or something.
Yeah.
And a nice parallel between legal highs versus illegal highs. But there's a serious thing about that though, because so many legal highs are the gateway drugs back to illegal highs.
Yeah.
That's the opioid crisis. Sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say I loved the whole thing of her saying how she liked hospital.
Yes.
Zero anxiety.
Yeah.
She was like at her happiest in hospital.
Absolutely, and I've written here, sequence in hospital bed was made with such inventive economy. I can't even remember.
Like, thank you.
Yeah.
All of that is really
That's
cute.
right. And I just remember thinking yet again, just sometimes with the most limited, I always remember having limitations on what you're shooting. Like if you're shooting in a tiny room, a tiny object, I love that. A lot of people would hate that. But actually it forces you to be inventive because you've got to shoot around it and all that. And I think this show can do inventive things in microscopic detail, but it can also do inventive things on a grand scale.
Yeah.
I think it's just so clever, this show. Jules visits Zendaya in hospital and she tells her that the other girl she had a bit of a thing with.
Oh, no, I don't think she does.
Bitter.
Does she tell her that? I remember her lying in bed with Zendaya in the hospital and Jules goes, did this all happen because I went away?
I really felt for Zendaya. I could see Zendaya wanted to be cool with it. It was all about, and this is the generational difference. Because they're not official. What the bloody hell does that mean? If you're not official, or if you're not exclusive, and if you're not ping and chung and bling and ying and all that stuff, then it's all right to go off and do whatever you want with anyone. But Zendaya's sadness, I thought, was so palpable. I know. Wasn't it? It was just heartbreaking. Anyway, at the end of that sequence, they have a sort of fantastical imaginary vision of them both shooting Nate.
Oh, yeah. Because then, Zendaya says something like, I could literally kill Nate. Yeah. And then it was a great moment. They had amazing makeup. Jules had like this spiky,
oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, insane spiky makeup. And like, he's basically on fire on a chair and Zendaya just like shoots him repeatedly. That's
right. Her makeup was like a caricature of an already caricatured Euphoria eye detail.
Yeah, it was so
I
cool.
want eye makeup
3D.
like that. It's so insane. You've said that the actor who plays Nate is getting a lot of abuse in real life. Is that right?
Not a lot. A lot of people have a crush on him. But there are like a few people that are just like having a go at him for playing an evil character, and it's like he's not like he's an actor.
Yeah.
If he's not going to play him, then who is? Like it was the same with 13 Reasons Why with the guy that played Bruce.
Yes.
Bruce, don't put that in. I don't remember his name. The rapist.
Yes.
Everyone was like attacking the actor, and he was like, "I'm a nice guy. Like, I'm just playing it. I'm an actor. It's what I do."
Probably like your mum in EastEnders. Everyone hated her because she was like Annie Palmer. She's not Annie Palmer. She's Nadia Sawalha. Then we come out of the titles and we go into Zendaya's mum is doing a reading in a church environment and talking about Rue growing up.
And Rue's like in the audience.
But when we cut to Rue in the audience, I didn't believe she was in the audience. I believed that this was like a wake after Rue has died. That's how I read it.
I never read it like that.
Yeah, which is
odd.
Can you see what I mean?
Yeah,
especially once you get to the end of this episode and you realise what Maddie... I didn't realise at the end of this episode what Maddie knew at the end of this episode. And so this is intercut with everyone going to the prom, and I suppose it kind of would make sense because as her mum's talking about her daughter, we then witness the final moments in this group of youngsters' lives as they're all heading off to a prom. And proms, in this country, we've got to understand a prom is a big deal. And I really like this sort of intercut nature of that. There's a moment where Zendaya finally sees a text from the woman to Jules.
That bit was so sad. Well, because obviously when they're getting ready for the party, Jules is putting all of Zendaya's makeup on. She's looking beautiful as ever. And Jules hints to her, doesn't she? She's like, oh yeah, there's this girl I met and everything, and then Zendaya was like, do you like her? And she was like, yeah. And it was just like the heartbreak and the way she just said yeah, like,
I know.
not going to hurt her. And Zendaya looked so hurt. And it was just, she was so clever in that bit. It was just all in her eyes, but then also trying to act like she wasn't in front of Jules.
Absolutely.
It was really clever. But then, they go to the prom, and then, like, she gets a text from the girl, and, like, Zendaya's face,
she's at the
she
table,
saw the text.
that's right, and she just can't
heartbreaking.
deal with it. Oh my God.
She, like, looked at her and she goes, and she just looked, like,
just you see
hug
the
her.
soul crushed within. And then we had this moment where Nate, the wanker Nate, comes bowling in, doesn't he, with this other girl with his hand on her butt, trying to make
her ass is properly out.
Oh yeah, like out. What the hell? No self-esteem whatsoever there.
That's true. I've seen that at parties.
Have you? My God, that's outrageous. Nate walks in with his hand on her butt, but we then have a flashback, which I think was a really funny flashback.
Well, we haven't met this girl before.
No, we haven't met this girl, no. But we have a flashback to Nate and Maddie having sex, or not having sex, because he can't perform.
Oh, yeah.
Within this moment, where a lot of stuff about him having dick pics on his phone and all that sort of stuff comes up, she stumbles across.
Yeah, he, like, goes to, like, he goes for a shower or something. Yeah. And she, like...
flicks through a book.
Yeah, she flicks through. I don't know why she picked. I can't remember the reason why, but like I think a book falls or whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, the DVD of Nate's dad having sex with Jules is in the book, and she takes the DVD, not knowing what it is.
Yeah.
Takes the DVD, and then
my
it's a really funny moment where she is walking down the stairs, and Nate's dad's like in the front, and he's just like,
just looks.
You're a lovely girl and everything, but you guys just don't work well for each other.
Oh,
so she just goes, your whole family's fucking weird.
Yeah,
and
that was so good. And he's just looking like, all right, okay. Oh, he's so chilling as well. That guy's so chilling. So horrible. Maddie has the DVD. Yeah. And what I like about this episode is you think we're going to be building now, don't you, to us resolving all of these threads.
Yeah.
None of them are going to get resolved.
Yeah.
None of them are going to get resolved because none of them get resolved. It's so exciting. But Maddie has the DVD, and there was a moment, just a stylistic moment, where Maddie is looking at Nate dancing with this woman. Oh, yeah. And there's a repeat whip pan on Maddie and Nate dancing, isn't there? Where does it cut?
It cuts to Nate like dancing with the girl, and then cuts to Maddie looking at him like.
And then it.
Back, and it just
so
keeps going backwards, forwards.
And I think the piece
until she gets up.
Oh, it's so good.
Dances with someone else.
And that's something else about this series, which obviously Maddie's well plugged into the music. The music's great. What I mean by the music is the soundtrack as well as the tracks, the composed music. But the music is inextricably entwined with the way it's shot and the energy.
Even the makeup fits with the music.
Yes, it just latches in beautifully.
It's all euphoric.
It's euphoric. And so that was all really good too. And so Fez. Fez is undercover.
So Fez didn't get found out by the pieces. I managed to get all the drugs down the toilet.
But he's lost out on the money because obviously they've got the drugs.
Yeah, and so like we keep cutting to him kind of in this black suit jumping over
sort of like breaking
fences
into somewhere
and stuff, and you don't know what he's doing.
Super sleuth, sort of climbing walls and getting into things and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And then you've got Kat and Ethan at the party. So you're cross-cutting Kat and Ethan at the party. Kat and Ethan getting it together. Actually, quite a nice thing developing on them.
Yeah, she's being nice.
And he says that lovely line where he says, if one of us is going to get hurt, I'm going to make sure it's not me, it's me. And that's kind of his. I messed it up totally.
He was just like, one of us will get hurt in this, but I'm going to try my hardest to make sure that it's me.
Boom.
It's just the cutest thing.
It's the really sweet thing to say, and I'm going to say that the next time I'm not at a party.
And then she kisses him, and it was so cute.
And I was begging for that softening. We don't know what happened with Mr. Brrr on the telly, though, do we?
No, but we'll probably find out.
I'm sure we'll find out. Then we have another flashback where Nate has this remarkable fight with his dad.
Oh my God, that scene was amazing. I didn't know what was going to... Okay, so I
thought his dad was going to rape him.
I didn't know what was going to happen at first. I thought Nate was going to kiss him.
Oh, yeah.
It was that weird bit, so I think Nate just gotten out of the shower.
Yeah.
And the dad goes up to him and confronts... I think the dad's found the DVD missing and he's going to confront Nate about it. But Nate gets like really close up to his dad's face and I was like, what is this? And then the dad like tries to get him up. They basically start beating each other up.
Oh, my God.
And he gets Nate on the floor and then Nate starts having like a fit.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? Starts bashing his head on the ground and screaming, and the dad comes out the room and you can still hear Nate go crazy. Yeah. And I thought that performance from Nate, the actor that
it was amazing. It was amazing.
Absolutely amazing.
And the dad, I have to say, he's unspeakably horrible.
Great.
He's such a cracking actor as well.
But I'm sorry, that scene with the performance from the guy that played Nate was absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal even.
It was just amazing. So then we have another scene where Maddie has watched the DVD.
That was brilliant.
But it was brilliantly dealt with, wasn't
they
it?
could have like, so basically we just see a shot of her like taking the DVD out and then like putting it onto like back in its case or whatever.
Yeah.
And she could have said something, we could
have seen something.
All we saw was her just go,
yeah, that was it.
And it ended,
and that was it. So by
was
omission,
so
we were told everything.
She was just like, what the...
Yeah, such an economic way of showing the shock and horror, and also the narrative importance of her now having seen what the hell's going on and knowing what's going on. Meanwhile, Cassie has an abortion.
That bit made me feel really... That's before the prom.
Yeah,
so they go a bit back and forth.
Yeah, they're flashing back and forth all the time.
But yeah, that made me go funny, the machine where it sucks it out.
And there is a sense of a crescendo building, isn't there? There's that sort of Goodfellas thing going where all the stories are kind of interweaving and kind of...
They're kind of ending all of the
it's all
plot.
pulling together. Yeah. And then Fez has to beat up the doctor, though he doesn't want to.
So basically we find out that he's broken into the house of the doctor that's giving all the drugs.
Fentanyl. Yeah.
And he beats him up in front of his son.
I know. And I felt for Fez there because he didn't want to do it. Didn't want to do it, but needs must yet again. He
was going to shoot Fez because he was going to get his gun out.
He was, but it made you even realise that even extreme crime can be the consequence of a lack of choices.
Also, he's scared.
Yes.
Fear makes you do stupid stuff.
Of course it does. Fear and necessity, and that's the deal. And then we get to the final part of this episode, which is quite a sensational part, I thought.
Just added to that. Because what I really liked about whilst Fez was beating him up, he's saying, why would you have done that? Why were you going to reach for the gun?
Why were you going to do
it's
that?
almost like, if you hadn't done that, wouldn't have had to have done this.
He regretted that he was going to do that, and he regretted that he was having to deal with him in the way that he was dealing with him. And then they really held that shot for a long time on the boy.
Really clever,
It was clever, wasn't it? How just things that go in with children will affect them for life.
Yeah.
You know, everyone is affected by what they see and experience in this, and you kind of see that from everyone's angle. Then I've got a note here, beginning of part 3, Nate and Maddie dance. So that must be them
that was quite a...
Yeah.
A
nice moment? Ish.
Well, not a nice moment, but it was just like, it was a sad moment.
Yeah.
I felt.
Mouse...
So I don't like either of their characters.
No, absolutely. And then we see Mouse, tattooed, drugged psycho, at Fez's house, taking the money that Fez has taken from the doctor. And as Maddie says, you don't really...
Basically, like Mouse has got a gun or something, and they're looking at Fez really sketchy, and Fez is like, we all good? And it stopped, that's all we saw of Fez for the rest of this, and I was just like, what the frugal? What's happened to him?
And then we have a situation where Zendaya and Jules are going to go to the city, and this is the moment that
that's after basically Nate goes to walk out the building, and then Zendaya follows him, and I was like, what is going to happen? And she basically confronts him about everything.
Oh, that's right.
And then he's just really patronising. He's like, you look really beautiful tonight, someone else.
Yeah.
And then Jules comes out, and then that's when Zendaya's like, let's get out of this town.
Let's get out of here.
She was trying to, I felt, first she goes, do you like the girl? And then she was like, yeah. And then Zendaya was like, do you like me? And she goes, yeah. And she goes, do you wish I was different? And I was like, and Jules was like, no, after saying she's a mess to someone else. And then I felt like Zendaya Rue kind of said the whole let's get out of here to kind of like
try and
show
that she could be
like what Jules is after.
Yeah.
And I found it really sad because the whole at first, I mean, Zendaya was really for it. You know, they like stole the bikes, they were riding. I thought that they were gonna run away together, and they were packing up. And as Jules was like really like fine about packing up for it, you could see the sudden realization that Rue had, where she was like, what have I just suggested?
What am I going to do?
What am I doing? And then like as they were walking up to the train, she started having a panic attack, didn't she? She was just like, I can't do this. And Jules was being so selfish. She was just like, come on, like it was your idea, let's just do it.
And that's when Jules, I just wanted to slap Jules.
Yeah, Jules,
and then something about her that was just bloody annoying.
Like she could have stayed with Zendaya. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't your idea.
She wants everything. She's greedy. She just wants everyone and everything, just sort of subservient to her needs.
And she basically got on the train, and then Zendaya just didn't. And then then it kind of ended, and I thought, I didn't know whether Jules was going to get off or if Zendaya was just going to go on anyway. Yeah. But then it just suddenly cut to the train going away and Zendaya standing on the platform. Stays.
And then did we have a flashback back to her explaining that her father died for some reason, and then she...
no, I don't think so. It was just explained. There was like the song by Donny Hathaway,
that's
my favourite.
Yeah.
And
do you know the song? Is it a famous one?
Yes, the one I've covered.
Oh, it is the one you covered.
I love it more than
yes.
But she basically, the whole way through when she's not been at a party or something, she's been wearing like this red hoodie.
That's right.
And we find out that it was her dad's red hoodie. And it's that bit of just filming her face. She's like putting it on and looks really sad. And I was just like, that's really, really
I've got as many hoodies in there you can do that with when I go.
But yeah, there was like that montage with the I love you more than you'll ever know. And I think it was like they showed that because then also Rue was thinking about her mum and her sister, and then we saw that scene of the mum and Zendaya having that massive fight, didn't we?
Oh, that's
where she told Rue to get out,
That's
and the sister was like, why would you do that to her? She's clearly not okay.
Yeah.
And I think it was just really kind of thinking about everyone that she loved here and felt bad about even considering leaving.
Yeah.
But then there was that really sad montage of all of her and Jules' really lovely moments at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then she regretted not having gone with Jules. And then I was really worried because obviously she was walking on the road crying, and I was like, she's going to get hit by a car.
That's right.
Hit by Nate or something.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really special. I love montages.
So
and the music and everything. And then she basically got home and snorted a line, didn't she?
Relapses.
Now, okay, so there's been loads of talk about.
And then it ends in this
scene.
enormous musical sequence.
Yeah, the song "All for Us" by Labyrinth.
Beautiful song.
Which is it was an incredible way to end the series.
And you said was that the video? Had they sort of cut
right,
off the
okay,
end of...
so there's loads of people really confused by the ending.
Yeah.
Because basically when she snorts the line,
and
then after she basically snorts the line, she lies back, she gets up, and then she starts dancing.
Yes.
And she like interacts with her mum and her sister, but they're like not aware of her being there. And she's singing the song Zendaya. So it's like a music video. But everyone's saying that she's in a different costume to what she was in at prom.
Yeah.
So it can't have been on the same day.
Right.
Which I don't agree with. I think she could have been in pyjamas, whatever.
Right.
And then people were saying that what it was the actual music video for the song, and that the creators of Euphoria decided to put it in at the end.
Right.
But what I think, and what I think's been confirmed, is that is not the case. It was the ending of the show. And Zendaya does overdose.
Right.
And that's her overdosing.
Because
I don't know if many people noticed, when she lies back after having snorted the line, she gets up really weirdly, like surreal.
Right.
But her windows are really bright light, and people saying that's her going to heaven, seeing the light.
Going to the other side.
Because then obviously there's this massive musical number where she's like being held up by all these people in red, and it's like
which is amazing. Goosebumps.
And then
Goosebumps.
she's dancing, and all of these people with massive brass instruments come in, and then she climbs this mountain of people, doesn't she? And she reaches the top, and then she like looks up, and there's this bright light, and then she basically just falls into the pile of people.
That's right.
And that
just made me drop my glasses. I'm so on edge.
That's basically where the series ended, and I thought it was just so clever to end with something so surreal like that, because it could have been really cringy. She's singing, she's miming,
But I think they did it in a way that was, if you think of the brass instrumentation, that's very much like the New Orleans funeral wakes that you get, where they're kind of pumping along. The whole mountain thing. It reminded me of Jesus Christ with the rebirth, when he's reborn, all that stuff. And so for me, there was a lot of religious undertones, not in a sort of like it's a religious thing, but like the whole religious idea of death.
Yeah.
And I did think it then immediately, it's what made me skirt all the way back to the beginning with Mum reading the thing, and that was Zendaya listening to it, her mum talking. So I felt that this episode was bookended with a suggestion that she had in fact died.
Yeah.
And so the suggestion that I think someone made right at the beginning.
All of the narration was from her on the day. Because also, if you notice, because obviously when she first starts singing, she's like falling about, isn't she, to the walls, like you are when you're intoxicated, or and she basically she hugs her mum and her sister, and the mum don't react.
No,
but then she dances with, I think, her dad, or was it Rick? But he's the only one that interacts with her.
Yes.
So I was thinking maybe that's the dad, and the only reason he's interacting is
because he's dead too. I agree. And did you say that Zendaya sings it?
Yeah, she's singing the song with Labyrinth.
So when you
actually, Labyrinth doesn't sing. The song originally was just Labyrinth singing.
Right.
And then the one on Apple Music is Labyrinth and Zendaya singing.
Right.
But in Euphoria, it's just her singing it, and her voice is incredible. And Zendaya is perfect.
So is she going to be in the next season?
I don't
see how she can be.
That's what people are saying.
Yeah. Shystermeister. Anyway, I mean, the performances around her are so powerful that it will sustain itself without even Zendaya, I hate to say, though. The thought of her not being in it is quite something.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of the greatest series I've seen.
Modern series.
Modern series. And insofar as it's both a reflection of and a reaction to a complete generation.
Yeah.
I also from your reaction
can't
that it's...
fault a single actor in it.
No, I can't.
Try and fault in it.
I can't, I'll try. I can't. And I can't fault any of the camera work, any of the editing,
No.
any of the sound design, sound direction, any of the set design, set direction, any of the editing. It was all beyond fabulous.
And someone said to me that I told to watch it because I was like, you don't understand. Like, you just got to watch it for it. They said they didn't like it because the Americans make everything too cinematic. I was like,
that can't be a criticism.
There isn't such thing as too cinematic. There is no such thing as too cinematic.
No, that's a ridiculous criticism.
And also, that's a compliment.
Yeah, but all moving image content is aspiring to cinematic.
Yeah,
it's
but what they meant was like, you know how usually with TV shows it's kind of like not... I mean, there was so much effort put into each shot. And I'm
but that can only be a good thing. Because what we all know to be cinematic, when we say television isn't cinematic, we're usually saying it because it's a lack, it's a loss, it's something that television isn't. Yeah. It's like, what's frustrating about telly is that it can't be telly, i.e. a series, and cinematic. And what this episode manages to achieve is the sense of a series and it's cinematic. Come on, guys, get with the programme.